by the way, this exists, in case you were wondering, where the fuck is part 2?
I'm just joking. So today I'm going to be talking about some free-to-play games that I haven't seen any videos on or just aren't being talked about for some reason. So this isn't going to be your typical list of Team Fortress 2s and PlanetSide 2s. I actually did some digging to find a few of these, and let me tell you, it wasn't too easy to find a few of them. Well, a few that I could find, anyways. Some of the ones I was originally going to put on this list, like Allegiance of Valiant Arms, Dog Tags, and Gigantic, have been shut down. Well, they did look fun, don't get me wrong, but I just couldn't find any downloads for them or any kind of community revival projects or anything like that. So, without further ado, let's just jump into this. Whoa! Let's just get through these three real quick. Starting with Phantom Forces, essentially it's the tried and true gunplay of Call of Duty, somewhat adapted to Battlefield's environments. I mean, it's actually pretty solid, but a lot of the gunplay just feels slightly off to the distances your bullets have to travel. If you play Ground War from Call of Duty, you will love this. Overall, I'm going to give the game an 8 out of 10. It's very solid, but it just needs some of that wonky gunplay fixed, and check out the bullet travel times. Also, give the players some more guns at the start, because just the starting ones are kind of trashy, except for the MP5K and Intervention, which are surprisingly solid. Alright, next on this list is Call of Robloxia 5. I used to somewhat play this back in 2010. I didn't have much experience with it, but it's kind of a mess right now. One thing I can say that's aged well in it is the map design. It is fantastic. This is the game that Stylus Studios made before Phantom Forces, and it's actually a ton of fun provided you can find people who still want to play it, that is. It seems to have set the bar for what makes a Stylus Studios game, and is overall a buggy, but fun classic Roblox game with no loot boxes or skins and a decent amount of progression at a 7 out of 10. Arsenal is CSGO's gun game mode, but on steroids. It's a lot of action-packed, adrenaline-fueled, fast-paced fun with some decent, but really not noteworthy progression. There's quite a few levels, mainly ripped from CSGO and a bunch of other stuff too, like the Concussion Mania mode, where the only gun is the concussion gun and everyone goes boom. It's a lot of fun, but nothing too original, so I'll give it a 6.5 for not adding too much to what was already there, but still being a fun game. Defiance is a third-person MMORPG shooter game. It seems to have taken some inspiration from Gears of War, Destiny, and Borderlands. It's kind of basic, but just straight-up dumb fun. So if you like Gears of War, Destiny, or Borderlands, you'll like this. Overall, 7 out of 10. Not bad. Blockade Classic is essentially Minecraft, but with World War II guns and Call of Duty or Star Wars Battlefront EA's progression system. It was like another game I used to play called Blockstorm, but you can't destroy your surroundings for some odd reason, and this game is free. This was the only version of the game I was able to find on Steam, and I felt it lacked some features like environmental destruction, and overall, I think that kind of detracted from the experience. So, for that, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Solid game, but needs some improvement. Trove is like another Minecraft-type game that was more than likely made to cash in on the Minecraft hype train back in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. I have known about this one for a while, but I've really never gotten around to playing it up until now, that is. I don't really know how to feel on this one. It's not bad by any means, but it could absolutely be better. Traveling with mounts in particular is kind of janky, and it'd be cool if you could shoot while riding a mount. But I honestly just didn't stick around too long to find out if there was anything like PvP that could screw with that idea. I'm just really not into these types of games. But overall, not bad. 7 out of 10, despite not being my kind of game. Next one. Alright, so this is by far the most popular game on the list. I'll say it's definitely not an Overwatch clone, despite what it might look like. I remember playing this game back in the early access phase of its development, and I really enjoyed it. That can be attributed to its much improved and actually unique Star Wars Battlefront like card system that gives you notable progression. The game has a pretty decent roster, but essentially the main features of the game have you looking through Call of Duty kill cams, has more unique heroes than Overwatch, and an improved version of Star Wars Battlefront star cards as its core features. I believe there were about 50 or so champions, as they're called in game, but most of them were locked behind a horribly egregious grind wall. That sucks, but since this is a free game, I do understand why they did that. So you'll just pay up for the gems and stuff, but it's just kind of crappy. It's a bit scummy. On another note, DICE, you want to improve Battlefront 2's existing star cards and make actually good gameplay? Look no further than Paladins, because you've been served. I have to say 8 out of 10. Pretty good time waster.
Renegade X is like that time you went out on your birthday, or maybe your 12th birthday, with a couple of your buddies when you still had them, and when go play laser tag. But essentially it's that, but it's Star Wars Battlefront 2, but it's Command and Conquer. It's not bad by any means, but no one really plays this. I was able to find a couple of servers that were still up, but unfortunately it just didn't seem like many people played it. This game can get pretty massive. The battles can be pretty big, but nothing like PlanetSide 2, which is just off the rails. It is off the chain. And there's a good reason why I didn't cover it, because Renegade X is clearly the superior one. Just kidding. But Renegade X, if you can find a match, it's a ton of fun, provided it's not lagging to all hell, because it did for me. And when I finally got it working, it was a ton of fun. Overall, probably a 6 out of 10, to be honest. Had some issues, but if those issues were not present at default when I booted up the game, then I probably would have given this a higher score. That should about do it for everything I was able to really find and get working. There were a couple of games worth mentioning, like SCP, Secret Laboratory, Wolf Team, Skill, Special Force 2, that I wanted to put in this video, but I unfortunately just couldn't get them working for some ungodly reason. They appear to work for most people. From what I can see, they all have dedicated communities and stuff, but I just could not for the life of me get them working. So I'm sorry for that. This video probably would have been another 3 or 4 minutes longer with them, but if you haven't checked them out, I will see about putting links in the description or just tagging them or something, so you can. And they are worth checking out. From what I've seen, they do look fun. I have checked out some footage of them, but I'm pretty sure the only thing you would waste if you didn't like them was just your time. To be honest, they're free games, so you can't really complain too much. Overall, I enjoyed the majority of these games. Some more than others. Overall, they were very fun. And I think my favorite out of this was either Phantom Forces or Paladins, because they were just the most fun I had, to be quite honest with you. This part isn't scripted, unlike most of the other parts of the videos. I'd say the last 2 games that I mentioned here were not, and it probably shows. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a good day or night, wherever you may be. Goodbye.